Just how significant is it for Donald Trump to corrupt the gathering of data in this country? The Washington Post argues it is very significant. Joining us now, Professor of Economics and Public Policy at the University of Michigan, Justin Wolfers, Tim Miller, and Jigla Hutt still with us. Justin, that is as a softball pitch to you, my friend. Take it away.
So therein lies the rub, mate. Trump is so inept at anything that he involves himself in. Therein lies the rub. He's got to put his fingers in every detail of every opportunity without knowing anything about the markets, without knowing how the world works. And therein lies the rub, mate. Donald Trump is on full taco mode. He's got no idea how to run a market. He's got no idea how markets work. Instead, he has to insert himself into every opportunity, regardless of where the markets sit at the time. You can't rely on anything that the man says because he's got all of his toadies. And none of them have the balls to tell him no, sir. None of them will come to him with tears in their eyes, mate, with tears in their eyes and say, sir, you cannot predict markets. You cannot make tariffs your own play toy. You just can't do it, mate. Anyway, that's how he's running his whole government, the way he runs his own thoughts, which, frankly, are all over the place. So here we have a man who knows nothing about markets making market predictions. And everything is falling apart around him. That's the problem. He can't get away from the Epstein files because all of the other things are so crappy. You can't run to a crappy thing from one crappy thing, right? Right?
J.D. Vance,
the
Howard Lutnick,
crypto,
right? Like yeah.
So is that what it is? It's a handful of people that are just deciding for all of us. How successful? How long can that be successful?
I mean, I think this 5 to 10 year run, if you look at the AI industry, if you look at crypto, this is it. And it's kind of what I would call, some death of Stalin Soviet type behavior where everyone knows like, hey, Trump's got a limited amount of time here. And then it's time for either JD in 2028 or someone else. And like this window right here is when you can consolidate all that power. I think that's what you see in Texas. That's what you see in all the things they've tried and failed to do, like the 10-year ban on state-level regulation of AI.
Yeah, but hold on. If you're going to take BLS data to make a more concrete point, if you're going to say jobs numbers, we're just not going to release them, or you're going to change or corrupt the inflation data, that will come into conflict with what people are experiencing, Justin.
More than that, it will come in conflict with what they get. Remember that, if Trump's tariffs cause inflation, and there's already signs that they are, that's going to undermine the purchasing power of seniors. Now, fortunately, our Social Security system says we index, which is to say adjust Social Security to take account of inflation. Now, what happens if he imposes those tariffs, they raise the cost of living, and he instructs the head of the BLS, because it's very uncomfortable to admit that inflation was high, instead to construct some other measure which gives us lower inflation? What that does is constructs a new economic reality in which seniors won't get the cost of living adjustments that they need. Mm-hmm. The thing is, these statistics are embedded in our society in ways that many of us do not immediately imagine, but we're all served by them being accurate. And they do things like adjust the cost of living. We have trillions of dollars in bonds that are tied to them and so on.
Well, I congratulate us for, at the very least, not referencing Foucault at all in this conversation. But there's always tomorrow. Everybody, thank you so much for joining me today.